County. Robbie Ford, our vice chair. Melissa McGee, our outreach chair. Dr. V, our Hispanic outreach coordinator. Shirley Sims, our communications coordinator. And today, many of you met Brett Shulman, who handles our VIP stuff. Give him a big hand of applause. I also want to give a big shout out to our other fellow county chairs and their volunteers, many of them here tonight. We certainly don't do this work alone. I also want to thank Joe Gruters. He did take my phone call, and I did bug him a lot to get this role. Thank you to our OCREC chair, Lou Oliver, for helping us navigate the process of understanding presidential politics. Thank you to Tony Ledbetter, our regional director. Thank you to Karen Giorno, senior advisor to Mr. Trump. And thank you to our newly appointed Florida director, Jennifer Lasita, who puts up with my phone calls, emails, and late night text messages. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Betty, who sits here and yells with me at the television when all those Hillary Clinton commercials come on all the time. So here's my message. I'm a 50-year-old man who is a Republican that happens to be gay, who is an American, and I will not go back in the closet because I am supporting Donald J. Trump for president. I like and agree Mr. Trump's stand on illegal immigration. I support Mr. Trump's position on reducing our $20 trillion debt and working hard to change our backwards foreign trade policies. I prefer a president who isn't politically correct over one that lies and panders to the communities and minorities she truly doesn't represent. The LGBT community needs to be reminded it was Bill Clinton that signed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And it was long ago Hillary made it clear she believed marriage was between a man and a woman. Now she says she supports same-sex marriage. She will say anything to get elected. I admire Mr. Trump as a leader and a jobs creator, not a person that takes money from the countries of people that behead gay people. Finally, and most important, I support Mr. Trump's outrage with radical Islamic terrorism and his tireless reminder we must support our military, police, and protect our Second Amendment. Mr. Trump supports our veterans and reminds us when they come home from war, we will be there for them, not treat them as second-class citizens, not deserving of timely health care. I live in Orlando, 1 mile away from where the Pulse tragedy took place. On that Sunday in June, I awoke to the sound of helicopters and my phone ringing and text messages going off. Everybody wanting to know if I was okay. It had been years since I had been to that club, but I soon gathered why people were concerned. As I stumbled out of bed to the living room to turn on the TV, it became quite clear to me. The city beautiful had been attacked by terrorism, by radical Islamic terrorism. No one would ever imagine stepping onto a dance floor would turn into basically stepping into a firing squad. But it happened. The disco ball still turning. Not here, not in the land of Mickey Mouse and fairy dust. The death of 49 innocent people was an attack on the gay community. It was an attack on the Hispanic community. But moreover, it was an attack on Americans. You know, it disturbed me when President Obama arrived in our city a few days after the tragedy. And while victims were in the hospital, families were grieving, funeral arrangements being made for the victims, our city mourning, he turned the conversation into one of gun control. President Obama, guns are not the problem. Box cutters are not the problem. Box trucks are not the problem. Pressure cookers are not the problem. The problem can be summed up in 3 words he seems to not be willing to say. Radical Islamic terrorism. I close bringing you back to marching band. You see, to win, you have to strive to be the best. You have to practice and work harder than hundreds, if not thousands of others to win. Winning is part of the American dream. No one wakes up, or at least I hope they don't, saying, I look forward to losing today. Yet many Americans, sadly, have been losing for years. It's about time we have a president that inspires us and reminds us what it feels like to win. Mr. Trump, we're with you, and I invite the LGBTQ community to join me in ensuring we elect a president that truly wants to protect our Constitution and freedoms it provides all of us. So here's to winning, Mr. Trump. We're going to get back Orange County and all the counties in the state of Florida. We're going to win Florida, and we're going to make sure you win in November. Please join me in thanking Mr. Trump again. We will help you make America great again. Thank you, everybody.
Randy Ross, thank you, Randy.